from Blashyrkh. Crude, lewd, though rarely rude. Smokey Daze Haze. I'm Smokey Daze Haze. Whether you laugh or don't laugh, learn to laugh because I'm the funniest person going today, and you're not the idiot savant of comedy. The funniest there was, the funniest there is, the funniest there ever will be. This set is ULMB. Unleashed, lit, misty, blaze. And you know what? I'm going to go right into beating my meat into this. So I'm going to start with the tongue twister. I'm not going to waste any time. And this tongue twister is going to be the new classic. It's how much cock would a cocksucker suck if a cocksucker could suck cock. So get ready, because here it comes. How much cock would a cocksucker suck if a cocksucker could suck cock? A cocksucker would suck as much cock as a cocksucker could suck if a cocksucker could suck cock. Woo! And yeah. Speaking of sucking dick, this one's going to be a new YouTube classic. Yeah. Hickory dickory dock. Tim Pool was sucking my cock. The clock struck 2. I shot my goo. Tim Pool swallowed every last drop. Then I dumped them off at the next cock. Don't worry, I wiped my dick with his beanie cap and I threw it in his face when it was all done. So, just so you know. Speaking of prick fever, this one's Bob and Jeff. So this is going back like to the 90s, and like so. Bob was like working at 7-Eleven with this guy Jeff, like overnights and stuff. So, you know, I guess he didn't really like him, so he was in the condo, and we're hanging out in the condo, like in the exercise area. So, I don't know, Bob left the room for a little bit, me and Jeff start talking, and for whatever reason, we decided we're going to drag him into the bathroom, we're going to put his head in the toilet, and we're going to flush the toilet. So we're like expecting him to put up like a massive fight and shit. So it's like, he comes back in the room, boom, he's in the bathroom like 10 seconds. And he's like, oh, what's going on, guys? Oh, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I think he had a bit of a fantasy that we were going to like fucking stop fucking him and shit. You know what I mean? But it was like the fact that he didn't resist to put up a fight. You know what I mean? At that point, we didn't have the heart to do it. We were almost laughing. And plus I'm thinking, well, you know what? Bob drove me there, so you know what? At best, it'd be an awkward car ride back, but you know what I mean? I probably would have been, you know, walking home at that point. But related to polarizing meat, we're going to go back to Carlin's. You know, he's good at getting beat up. So, remember how I mentioned he got beat up by the Mets fans, and he was mouthing off to them? So, like, they're beating him up. He was too drunk to really do anything. And one of the things that he's saying is, like, Conan 4! Conan 4! Because I think the Yankees are up like 3 games to none, but Conan didn't get the winning game 4, or whatever it was. But it was just funny. Like, they're like, you're a sick fuck, so even though they're beating him up. So one day he's at this bar, and he's freaking, this kid Metzler dated his sister. And this guy, Schwartz's brother, we'll call him, he looked like Danzig. He got into it like in the bar, so Tom stood up for him, he gets thrown out of the bar. He's walking down like this parking lot, it's like desolate. There's like tumbleweeds, you can see tumbleweeds, and Schwartz had told him how like his brother shot somebody, like killed somebody with a shotgun. So all of a sudden, boom, like the car comes, it's Schwartz's brother. He looks like Danzig, big muscle fuse. And he's like, get on your knees and beg for your life. And right there, Collins was like already broken. You know what I mean? Like he had no spirit at that point. So it's like, you know what I mean? He had no fight in him because he thought he was going to get shot. He thought he was going to get killed. So Schwartz's brother gets up there and he's like beats like the living shit out of him and stuff like that. You know, and he's beating the shit out of him, beating the shit out of him. So Collins is down, and then at some point, he gets up, and he's like, I didn't hear no bell, like just like Rocky. So Schwartz is like, you're a sick motherfucker. So he like beats him up and down and shit. And then he's about to drive away. And Collins, he's like, yo. He's like, Collins. He's like, are you still alive? And he's like, oh, let's go, let's go. He's like, round 2, round 2. And so he goes to the hospital, he gave like a fake name, but like when his mom was talking to Schwartz's brother, he already had 2 strikes, he was on like probation. She's like, you know what I mean? She's like, how about you beg for your life now? So it's like funny, so like years later, Colin sees him in the bar. And he's like, come on, let's go for round 2, let's step outside and go round 2. And you know what I mean? And like Schwartz's brother's like, yo man, I don't do that anymore. So it was like pretty funny, you know? That's one reason you don't really want to fight, but yeah. So that's, you know, Collins is good at taking a beat. He's kind of like a knockoff watch, like takes a licking but keeps on ticking. It's like takes a beat and keeps on like mouthing off with pauses and shit. So anyways, have you heard what Johnny Depp said to Amber Heard? Don't shit the bed. So she left him. Amber turds. So, speaking of being shit-faced, like years ago in the 90s, I'm hanging out with this kid, Matt Hochstrasse, we'll call him. He had a crazy last name. He's always getting into trouble. He got into like this drawer that I had in the house that had like blackberry brandy, you know, and I'd use it sometimes in the winter to warm up. I don't really drink. So he drank like a bottle of this friggin' blackberry brandy, like warm. The kid's like puking on my lawn and shit, so I fucking have to hose him off and stuff. And you know what I mean? Like, so I'm hosing him off on his lawn, so he's got nothing but his underwear on. Then his grandmother's coming to pick him up finally. Then, like, all of a sudden, he gets up and he starts running in his underwear. He's like running down the street in his underwear. He hopped the fence, and I took off after him, and I caught him. And he ended up going to, like, LaSalle, I heard, like this military prison. I hear from him sometimes. He's doing all right, so you don't have to worry about that. But more related, awkward 90s moments. So anyway, Matt calls me one night. It's like 3 in the morning. So I go, and he's like telling me, like, yo, man, yo, blah, blah, yo, what's up, man, yo, let's hang out, man, so whatever. So, nothing to do at that time, so I go, and I'm going at this house, because he's with this kid. I've been to the house a few times, and it's cheaper, it's not that far. So all of a sudden, I'm sitting on the car at like 3:33 a.m., I'm friggin' waiting for him, and the friggin' kid's mother's like, the mom of the dude told me, it's like, well, you know, she comes out, seeing me sitting on the car, and I'm thinking, this is awkward as hell. And she told me that, you know, the dude was at like Matt's friend's house or whatever, so she told me where the house was. So, you know what I mean, it was like crazy, but I'm sitting on my friggin' car at 3:33 in the morning, waiting for this friggin' person, and the mom like calmly is like, you know, like it's no big deal. So, anyways, so we meet up with Matt, and you know, his friend, and his friend's with this girl, and he normally can't see this girl for some reason, so this is like his only shot to see her for whatever reason. And you know, so I don't know, we're hanging out and shit. So he basically, the kid ends up in my back seat with this girl, and somehow they talk me into whatever. So he's fucking this girl in my back seat. He breaks my passenger car seat, having sex and shit. And Matt kept trying to like friggin' watch or peek and shit. So I threw him out of the car, and it's like winter, so he's like out there like fucking, you know, like wandering the streets and shit like that. You know, like, why this kid's fucking this girl in my back seat. Because I was kind of weird back then. I had a bit of a philosophy, like, you can kind of do whatever you want. You know what I mean? As long as you're not really hurting anybody. So, you know what I mean? So it was just one of those weird moments. And, you know, it broke my passenger seat. So I guess I learned my lesson. For those excited by that, get your socks on your cocks. Because in the time that I have left, we're going to do my classic. No, not if you're going to jerk off, get a sock. But we're going to do one of my big classics, one of the big sock songs that everyone seems to like. I will go as far as I can. The sock on my cock. The hand on my sock goes up. The hand on my sock goes down. The hand on my sock goes round and round until my ungorged sock cock erupts. Then the sock on my cock wipes up every last drop of its load. The sock on my cock, the sock on my cock, the sock on my cock. The hand on my sock cock goes up, the hand on my sock cock goes down. The hand on my sock cock goes round and round until my engorged sock cock erupts. Then the sock on my cock swallows every last drop of its load. The sock on my cock, the hand on my sock goes up, the hand on my sock goes down. The hand on my sock goes round and round until my engorged sock cock erupts. Then the sock on my cock swabs every last drop of my load. The sock on my cock. The hand on my sock cock goes up. The hand on my sock cock goes down. The hand on my sock cock goes round and round until my own gorged sock cock erupts. Then the sock on my cock soaks up every last drop of its load. The sock on my cock. The hand on my sock goes up. The hand on my sock goes down. The hand on my sock goes round and round until my engorged sock cock erupts. Then the sock on my cock sobs up every last drop of my load. The sock on my cock. The hand on my sock cock goes up. The hand on my sock cock goes down. The hand